Parent advocate Dr. Erika Sanzi joins us live to tell us about elementary schools promoting story time with drag queens. Parents right now sounding the alarm in Erie, Colorado after a controversial event was circulated showing 4 elementary schools promoting story time with a drag queen. Joining me right now, Erika Sanzi, the Director of Outreach for Parents Defending Education. Great to see you. Good morning to you. So it is our understanding a 3rd grade teacher was the special guest that was going to do this story time. And according to this report, parents were upset over this, and a spokesperson for Boulder Valley Schools says they did not promote this event and they have pushed responsibility to the school board. Tell me more about the report.
Yeah, so it is true that there's a 3rd grade teacher in a nearby district who is also a drag queen at night. That's been very public. There's been lots of articles written about it. So that's one piece of this. And he happened to be the drag queen that was going to be featured at this event that was being promoted by, now here's where it gets a little bit tricky. So it was the PTSA that was promoting this event, according to the district. So the Parent Teacher Student Association. So that's why district officials are saying that they weren't involved in the promotion of the event, that it was the PTSA. But again, that gets confusing for families because a PTSA is certainly affiliated with the school. And it was these committees at these 4 different elementary schools that had come together and said, had promoted the event and also said that students, elementary students, would be there passing out rainbow flags, at the entrance of the event.
This brings up an interesting point because the PTSA in many schools can be very small, a very small select group of parents and adults there. What is the differentiation here? What can a parent do if they see something like this? What are their rights?
That's a really good question. And I think that, as we get into these sort of controversial culture war issues that are now sort of infiltrating the schools, if that were me, I would probably write to my principal and ask, is the school involved in this event? Is the school promoting this event? Because again, it does get confusing. It isn't technically a school organization, but it is definitely an organization affiliated with the school. And most people and most parents are very confused about sort of where that delineation is, in terms of who is responsible for the events promoted by those organizations.
Another instance was in Waukegan, Illinois, where 2 public libraries hosted the Kitty Corner. The events included drag kid dress up and drag queen story time. In a statement to the National Desk, the Waukegan Public Library said, quote, offering LGBTQ plus families with children a safe place to engage with peers in age-appropriate activities while being supervised by their families is intentional and affirming work that helps to promote and grow healthy social and emotional development. What did you think when you saw this?
Well, this is different because this is a public library holding an event that parents could decide to bring their children to. I believe it was on a weekend. So I would draw a very bright line between events happening in schools and or sponsored by schools and events happening at a public library, that families decided to bring their children to. Now, it's not that I necessarily would bring my children to that event, and I certainly think the fact that the public dollars are involved, the community should certainly, speak out or at least have a debate about this. But I think this is very different than anything that comes into the school building or is promoted by the school.
I know you guys have seen an uptick in cases similar to these, as you said, as these culture wars continue and just keep getting larger and larger. What can parents do if they don't want their children to be a part of the events or exposed to it?
I mean, there's a few things going on here. Like, for one, I think that already now I'm hoping at least that some schools have their eyes open about the fact that, bringing drag shows or drag queen story hour into the schools is not perhaps as popular as they may have thought it would be. And again, we've seen New York City has spent over $200,000 on Drag Queen Story Hour. We have another case in Pennsylvania that was a hypersexual and very provocative show that took place on school grounds. There has since been an investigation and people have been suspended from their jobs. So again, if I'm a parent, I am paying really close attention. Maybe I'm even asking, are you planning on doing anything related to drag queens at this school? And then certainly if they are, parents have to have a mechanism of being notified about it in advance and being able to opt their children out of that activity or that event.
All right, Erika Sanzi, thanks for joining us this morning. We appreciate it.
Thank you.